It was a dark and drizzly November 24th, 1971. Across America, families prepared for Thanksgiving. But aboard Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305, tension was rising. The Boeing 727, en route from Portland to Seattle, was disrupted by one enigmatic passenger. This man would forever be known as D.B. Cooper. At 3:15 p.m., a well-dressed man handed a note to a flight attendant. He claimed to have a bomb. The note demanded $200,000 in unmarked bills. It was a high-stakes gamble that changed aviation security. The flight attendant alerted the pilot. The news transformed routine procedure into a tense waiting game. Cooper remained calm, lighting a cigarette and ordering a bourbon. The fate of 36 passengers and 7 crew members hung in the balance. They were about to become part of one of the most baffling mysteries in American history. The man who called himself Dan Cooper was an enigma. He was polite, even charming, throughout the ordeal. Witnesses described him as average height and build, with dark hair. He wore a dark suit, black tie, and white shirt. Some recalled a parachute beneath his raincoat. Every detail was meticulously noted. Cooper's demeanor was intriguing. He spoke calmly, displaying knowledge of aviation. He knew the terrain and the plane's capabilities. He engaged in casual conversation with the crew. His composure was remarkable. Some speculated he was an experienced skydiver. Others believed he was a seasoned criminal. The lack of concrete evidence fueled speculation. Was he a mastermind or a desperate gambler, a cold-blooded criminal or driven by unknown motivations? The answers remained elusive, lost in the clouds with Cooper. Cooper's demands were precise. He wanted $200,000 in unmarked $20 bills, 4 parachutes, 2 primary and 2 reserve, and a fuel truck standing ready in Seattle. Failure to comply would have dire consequences, he warned, his hand never straying far from the briefcase he claimed contained the bomb. The airline, desperate to avoid a catastrophe, agreed to his terms. The FBI was brought in and Operation Cooper was swiftly put into motion. Upon landing at Seattle-Tacoma International Airport, a tense standoff ensued. The authorities, working with the airline, scrambled to meet Cooper's demands. The ransom money was delivered in a knapsack along with the parachutes. Passengers and some crew members were allowed to disembark, their faces etched with relief and disbelief. They had stared death in the face and emerged, shaken but alive, on the other side. With the hostages freed, Cooper outlined his next move. He instructed the pilots to chart a course for Mexico City, flying at a low altitude and slow speed. He demanded the rear air stair be lowered and the cabin left unpressurized. The Boeing 727, now a pawn in Cooper's audacious game, taxied back onto the runway, its silhouette a stark contrast against the twilight sky. Inside, the remaining crew could only wait and wonder what fate awaited them at the hands of the enigmatic hijacker. With his demands met, Cooper directed the pilots to take off from Seattle. The Boeing 727, now a flying prison for the remaining crew, lumbered into the sky, its destination uncertain. Outside, darkness descended, shrouding the plane and its elusive passenger in a cloak of secrecy. Below, the landscape stretched out, a patchwork of forests and fields illuminated by the faint glow of towns and cities. Around 8 p.m., somewhere over southwest Washington state, the unthinkable happened. Cooper, with the ransom money strapped to his body and a parachute on his back, lowered the rear air stair and jumped into the night. The wind howled outside, a symphony of rain and rushing air, as the hijacker vanished into the darkness. It was a daring escape, a testament to his meticulous planning and audacious spirit. The pilots, their nerves frayed but their skills honed by years of experience, managed to regain control of the aircraft. The Boeing 727, now free of its unwelcome guest, limped back to Portland, where the shaken but unharmed crew finally touched down. Their ordeal was over, but the mystery of D.B. Cooper had only just begun. As the news of the daring hijacking and escape spread, the world held its breath, captivated by the audacity of it all. The immediate aftermath of the hijacking was, well, a whirlwind of activity. Law enforcement agencies launched a massive manhunt, combing the vast wilderness below Cooper's estimated jump zone. The FBI, leading the investigation, interviewed witnesses, analyzed evidence, and chased down countless leads, determined to bring the elusive hijacker to justice. But D.B. Cooper, it seemed, had vanished without a trace. The media went into overdrive, hungry for any scrap of information about the daring skyjacker. Newspapers ran headlines proclaiming D.B. Cooper who and hijacker baffles police, while television news broadcasts dedicated hours of airtime to the unfolding saga. The public, captivated by the audacity of the crime and the mystery surrounding the perpetrator, devoured every detail. Theories abounded. Some speculated that Cooper was a seasoned criminal, others a thrill-seeker, and still others believed he was a desperate man driven to extreme measures. The lack of concrete evidence only fueled the fire of speculation, turning D.B. Cooper into a modern-day Robin Hood for some and a ruthless outlaw for others. The mystery, far from fading with time, only deepened its grip on the national consciousness. Section 6: Copycats and the Price of Fame. In the wake of the hijacking, a wave of copycat crime swept across the nation. Inspired by Cooper's apparent success, would-be skyjackers attempted similar feats, hoping to claim their own piece of notoriety and ill-gotten gains. Some tragically met their demise, their dreams of riches ending in disaster. Others were apprehended by authorities, their 15 minutes of fame ending behind bars. The FBI, grappling with the surge in air piracy, realized the dangerous precedent set by the Cooper case. The hijacking had exposed vulnerabilities in airline security, vulnerabilities that others were all too eager to exploit. It became clear that drastic measures were needed to restore public confidence in air travel and deter future hijackings. The Cooper case, initially a sensation, morphed into a cautionary tale, highlighting the unintended consequences of notoriety. The copycat crime served as a grim reminder that criminal acts, no matter how daring or seemingly successful, often inspire others to follow suit with tragic and far-reaching consequences. The price of fame, it seemed, could be measured in lives lost and a nation's sense of security shattered. Section 7: The media's role, DB or not DB. The media played a pivotal role in shaping the narrative surrounding the D.B. Cooper case. Ironically, the most famous detail about the hijacker, his name, was a result of a media miscommunication. Cooper had identified himself as Dan Cooper during the hijacking. However, due to a garbled phone line or a simple misunderstanding, the name D.B. Cooper was reported by news outlets and stuck. This seemingly small error had a significant impact. The name D.B. Cooper became synonymous with the daring skyjacker, further solidifying his place in the public imagination. It also highlighted the power of misinformation and the anchoring bias, where people tend to latch on to the first piece of information they receive, even if it is later proven inaccurate. The media's insatiable appetite for details surrounding the case, coupled with the lack of concrete answers, led to a proliferation of theories and speculation. Every potential clue, no matter how tenuous, was scrutinized and debated. Experts and armchair detectives alike weighed in, offering their own interpretations of the evidence. The D.B. Cooper case became a media circus, a captivating blend of true crime and unsolved mystery that kept the public enthralled for decades. Section 8: A Trail Gone Cold. The FBI's long hunt. The FBI's investigation into the D.B. Cooper case spanned decades, becoming one of the longest and most intensive manhunts in the Bureau's history. Agents chased down thousands of leads, interviewed countless witnesses, and analyzed every scrap of evidence, determined to unravel the mystery of the elusive skyjacker. They explored every possible angle, from Cooper's background and motives to his potential escape route and final fate. Despite their best efforts, the trail remained frustratingly cold. The ransom money, save for a small portion discovered years later along the Columbia River, was never recovered. Cooper's parachute was never found, and no conclusive evidence emerged to definitively identify him or confirm his fate. The case, once a top priority, gradually transitioned into a cold case, its files gathering dust in the annals of the FBI's unsolved mysteries. In 2016, after 45 years of investigation, the FBI officially announced it was scaling back its active investigation into the D.B. Cooper case. The decision, while disappointing to many, was not entirely unexpected. Despite decades of effort, the Bureau had exhausted all viable leads. The case, though officially inactive, remains open, a testament to the enduring power of this unsolved mystery. Section 9, the Cooper Legacy, Aviation Security and Enduring Enigma. The D.B. Cooper case left an indelible mark on aviation history. The hijacking exposed critical vulnerabilities in airline security, prompting a complete overhaul of safety protocols. Airports implemented mandatory screening, reinforced cockpit doors, and increased security personnel. These measures have proven effective in deterring hijackings. Beyond security, the D.B. Cooper case continues to captivate the public imagination. Theories about Cooper's identity and fate circulate, fueled by amateur sleuths. D.B. Cooper remains a tantalizing mystery, a testament to the power of an unsolved enigma.